Hi everyone, it's Rachel here from Te Aki. So I'm going to take you through a mat class today. It's going to be about 30 minutes. You will need your resistance band, so a long band if you've got one. If you haven't got it with you, maybe pause me for a moment while you race off and grab your band. Just keep it nearby, and we'll be using that at some point during today's class. So I'm going to get you to start lying down onto your mat. So if you can lie with your knees bent and your feet firmly placed down onto the mat. So let your arms rest by your sides. Make sure your shoulders are nice and heavy, your rib cage is heavy. So really sink those ribs in, weighted down through your tailbone. Feel that connection between your feet and your mat. So maybe spread your toes. And then focus just for a moment on how you're breathing. So it's always good to start the class with some nice deep breaths and just remind yourself about how to breathe efficiently and make sure you're using your rib cage and your diaphragm effectively as you breathe. So shoulders should be relaxed. And as you breathe, you should feel some movement around your lower ribs. So big breath in and just really feel those ribs expanding. You could be expanding front and back. You could be expanding the ribs out to the side. You could be doing all of the above. And then just let the breath go. And then breath in again. So breathing in nice and deep and wide with the ribs. Couple more breaths. Good, all I'm going to get you to do now is slide your arms out to the side, sort of like a crucifix. So your arms are going to be out from the side of your body, your palms down. You can keep your feet planted onto the mat for now. On your next out breath, just rock your knees to one side and turn your head to the opposite side. So knees are going to go left, head's going to turn right. On an inhale, bring yourself back through center. And then exhale, go the other way. Inhale to come back through center. And exhale, go the other side. So knees are going to go sideways. You can roll off the back of the hip, but don't let the shoulders come off the mat. So the shoulders and the back of your arms stay firmly placed down onto the floor and onto the mat. As you draw back, lead with your rib cage. So your rib cage is going to lead the way as you draw your knees back through center. And then exhale over to the other side. Head turns the opposite way to your knees. On your inhale, you come back through center. Option here is to do this with your feet in tabletop or your legs in tabletop. Remember, that's only an option. So really choose the option that's best for you. Any issues with your lower back, please keep your feet down. Exhale, taking your knees one way, head the other. Inhale through center and exhale to the other side. Inhale back through center. Exhale, over you go. Good, one more here. And then come back to center, keeping your legs in tabletop, or the option is to have your feet down. Fingertips towards the ceiling here. Make sure the back of the shoulders are pressed down and the ribs are heavy. Okay, so you haven't lifted the back of your shoulders off the mat. You've got them firmly placed down into the mat. Fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling. On your next out breath, you're going to take both arms up and overhead. Keep the ribs down. So take the arms as far as you can before you feel the ribs want to lift. When your ribs starts to lift, that's where you stop. Exhale as you come back. Good, take a breath in. Exhale, over you go. You can stop wherever feels comfortable for you. Any shoulder issues, stop as soon as you feel it in your shoulders. And then bring your arms back. Good, keep going. Exhale, lengthen the arms above the head, keep the ribs heavy. and then arms come back. You can add in some leg movement here if you like. On your next exhale, arms move together, but only one leg. So extend one leg long as the arms go overhead. Legs and arms come back at the same time. Change sides, lengthen one leg, arms go overhead. Back you come. You can do this with your feet down. Okay, so one leg, both arms. As you return though, the foot goes back down. Good, let's keep going, just a few more. Exhale, long. Inhale to return. Exhale, long. Inhale, return, one more each side. Exhale as you lengthen, but keep the ribs heavy. Don't let the chest lift. Back through center. Last one on this side. Good. Now you're going to bring your hands down onto one leg. So one leg is going to go nice and long. I've got my left leg lengthened. My right hand is going to go onto my right shin. My left hand is going to go onto my left knee. From here you're going to do a little gentle pull in with the knee, as if you're pulling it in towards your chest. Left leg goes nice and long. As you pull in though, you're still lengthening through your spine. So imagine you're still reaching through the crown of your head, even though you're doing a gentle pull of that knee in towards your chest. And then you're going to change to the other side. So the outside hand always goes to the shin, inside hand to the knee, and change. One leg bends in, other leg nice and long, and change, and change. Good. To add a little bit of intensity here, you can lift the chest and shoulders. And change side to side. Good, just do a couple more. And bring both legs back to tabletop. Rest your head down. Both hands this time are long, tapping just the sides of your shins here. As you exhale though, the legs are going to go long, arms are going to go overhead. And then inhale to circle back around and bring your arms back to where you started. If this is too much for you, go back to the single leg version or come all the way back down here and keep doing this one. Okay, otherwise we're here, legs in tabletop, hands on the outside of the shins. Exhale, again lengthen through the spine, the arms, the legs, but keep the ribs heavy. Inhale, circle the arms back around, come back to where you started. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. To add some intensity, lift the chest and shoulders. Here we go. Exhale here, inhale to circle back around. Exhale, inhale. Make sure the back's not lifting off the mat here. Let's do a couple more. And one more. And then roll yourself back down. Good, you can hug your knees into your chest for a second if you need. And then resting your feet back down onto the mat. Arms are nice and relaxed by your sides. Just coming into some leg circles. So I'm going to start with my right leg nice and long here. So as I inhale, the leg's coming straight up towards me, and then exhale to circle out, down and around. Inhale straight up the middle. Exhale to circle out, down and around. Left leg is bent and the foot stays down onto the mat. As you circle that right leg, you're not rocking through your pelvis and you are not moving that left leg. Option here, that left leg can stay nice and long. Circle out, down and around. And then we change direction. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale to circle out, up and around, exhale down, inhale, one more, exhale down, inhale to circle out, up and around, and then bring the feet back to where you started. Change sides. So I'm left leg now, my right leg can stay bent with my feet flat on the floor. As I circle, inhale up, exhale to circle out, down and around. Inhale up, exhale to circle. Inhale, exhale. One more in this direction. And then you go the other way. Remember, the other option, which is a little bit harder, is to have that other leg nice and long. Exhale down, inhale, circle out, up and around. Exhale down, inhale to circle. Exhale down, inhale. One more. And then bring the feet back down. Nice, plant your feet now so that they're hip width distance apart. Spread the toes, feet are firm onto the mat. Shoulders are nice and heavy, keeping a little bit of space between the knees and the feet. Arms are by your sides, palms down for now, and we're going to roll up into a bridge. So on your next exhale, you're going to flatten your back. So press as if you're trying to squash something with the small of your back. Lift from your tailbone, start to roll yourself up. Try and do this bit each vertebrae one at a time. So you're rolling up bone by bone through your spine until you're up onto your shoulder blades, no higher. Press through your hips and push the front of your hips up towards the ceiling, but keep your ribs nice and heavy. So your rib cage should be lower than your hips, all the same height. It shouldn't be higher. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale down you come, bone by bone. Breath in at the bottom. Exhale, flatten your back, start to roll yourself up, rolling up into the top of your bridge. Hold at the top. Breath in. Exhale, roll back down. Good, slight change now. You're just going to bring your hands back up, back of the shoulders rest down, fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling. This is an option. You can keep your arms down if you prefer. Take that breath in. As you exhale, flatten your back, start to roll yourself up. Hold at the top of your bridge. Breath in. Exhale, slowly lower down, bone by bone, one vertebrae at a time as you lower back down onto the mat. Good, take a breath in here. Exhale, flatten and lift, start to roll up. Hold at the top and slowly lower, bone by bone, as you lower yourself back down. Good, another breath in at the bottom, and then exhale, flatten your back, roll yourself back up. Hold at the top of your bridge, and we're going to stay here now. And as you exhale, you're going to lengthen your arms long above your head. Try not to let the rib cage lift. Bring the arms back to where you started. Keep the back of the shoulders connected to the mat. Breath in. Exhale, arms go overhead. Inhale to return. Good, let's do a couple more. Exhale, arms go overhead. Inhale as you come back. And again, exhale, arms go overhead. And inhale to return. Good, you can roll yourself back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then bring the arms back down. Hug your knees in towards your chest and rocking from side to side. Good, we're going to turn over now so that you're on your hands and knees. So here we go. You want to set yourself up with your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees are going to be directly underneath your hips. If for any reason you have issues with your hands and wrists, you can be down here on your elbows. Otherwise you're here, hands and wrists. We're going to start with a very simple sort of Superman exercise here. So you want to take one arm and the opposite leg at the same time. So the arm's going forward to the front of your mat and the leg's going behind. And then you're just going to slide back. I'm just going to move forward a fraction. So out and in, we're going to do sets of 4. And one more. Now we're going to add a little lift. So slide and lift and down and return. Slide, lift, down and return. Let's do 2 more. Nice and strong through that supporting shoulder. Good, let's add on to that a little bit more. So slide and lift. Then crunch. You're going to draw the elbow and the knee in towards each other. Lengthen nice and long. Pop the hand and the foot back down and then back you come. Go again. Slide, lift. Little bit of a crunch here. Lengthen, down, return. 2 more. And 1 more. Good, have a little reset here and then we're going to change to the other side. So strong through the shoulders, long through your spine. Knees are hip width distance apart. And off we go, other arm and leg, just forward and back for 4. And then slide and lift. Slide, lift, return and back. 2 more. And 1 more. Now we add the little crunch, so slide and lift. A little bit of a crunch here and return. 3 more of those. Two to go. And 1 more. Nice work. Again, just have a little readjust here, so get the shoulders nice and square over the wrists again and the knees underneath the hips. Just some leg work this time, so I'm going back to my right leg to start. Slide the leg out so that your toes are sort of touching towards the end of your mat, and it's just a lift and a lower. Keeping the legs straight, keeping your spine nice and long. Lift from your hip, not your back, so you're not arching your back. Okay, lifting from the hip. 3 more. And then you're going to hold this one up. So now your thigh is parallel to your mat. And you're going to bend and straighten. So thigh stays parallel, bending and straightening from the knee. Now when you bend, you're going to hold, and now just do a little pulse. Okay, so push that foot towards the ceiling, knees bent. And then bring that leg back down. Change to the other side. Starting by sliding that leg out, and now just a straight lift and lower, so the leg stays straight, lifting from the hip, not the back. Good, now the leg's going to stay lifted, thigh parallel, and bend and straighten the knee. Two more, then we'll add the little pulse. So keep the knee bent, and now pulse, little pulse. Press the foot towards the ceiling. Two more. And then bring the leg back down. Nice, have a little stretch here. You might want to stretch out your butt muscles a little bit, so let's have a little stretch. And then bring yourself forward again. I'm going to use my band now for a second. So take the band and place it across the top of your mat like so. And then placing, so I've got my right hand firmly placed down on the band, and I'm going to hold the other end in my left hand. Then I'm going to bend that elbow, so my upper arm is alongside my body, and then my elbow's bent to 90 degrees. From there I'm just going to straighten against the resistance of that band and control as I return back. So it's like a tricep movement here. Don't just let the band ping you back though, you want to be in control as the band comes back. Now you can stay with just the arm, or you can bring in the opposite leg. So as you press back with the arm, the leg, the opposite leg goes behind, and then back you come. Lengthen just the arm or the arm and the leg, and return. Good, 2 more. Nice. And then swap sides. So exactly the same on the other side. This time my left hand is pressing firmly down onto the band, and I've got the other end of my right hand. And straightening. And just the arm, or you can bring in the leg. So as the elbow straightens, the leg lengthens, and control as you return. Remember, you're working against the resistance of the band as you come back. The band's going to want to pull you back. You are just working against that, so you're not letting it pull you back. Good, 2 more. And release. Nice work. You're going to sit now with your legs out in front of you. You've still got your band. Now, it's really important that you keep your spine in a good position here. So your ribs and your shoulders want to be directly over your hips. Okay, so you don't want to be slouched down like a banana. You need to sit nice and tall just to protect your back. So if you can't do that with your knees straight, then please bend your knees. Okay, so it's perfectly fine to have your knees bent. Important thing is that you have your back in a good position. You're going to take your band and hook it around your feet. So you want to have your feet about hip-width distance apart. So there is a little bit of distance between them, and the band is on a little bit of a stretch. Try best you can to keep your feet straight, keep them parallel, and keep your toes pointing up towards the ceiling. So yes, this is an arm exercise, but actually your feet are going to do a little bit of work just because of the resistance of the band. So try and keep them parallel and keep your toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Holding onto the band here, depending on how much resistance you want to work with. If you want to work with quite a lot of resistance, you would hold the band closer to your feet. Holding further away will have lighter resistance. So I'm going to hold reasonably close to my feet. Sit up nice and tall as you exhale, just pulling on that band, bending your elbows as if you're trying to scrape your elbows by your sides, and again control that return. Bend the elbows, elbows scraping your sides, and then slowly control the return. Remember, the arms are moving, but the spine and the rib cage is staying still. So you're not pushing your chest forward as you pull back. Staying in control of that movement with your arms. Let's do a couple more. Good, then we're going to cross the band. I'm going to start with my right arm. Again, keep some tension on the band between your feet. My right arm is going to pull, my elbow's coming high, and then slowly return. So just one arm at a time. I'm just going to turn to face you so you can see what I'm doing from the front. So the elbow comes up and out this time, and slowly return. Good, keep going. Elbow shouldn't go higher than the shoulder, and wrist shouldn't go higher than the elbow. That makes sense. Got just a couple more. And then I'm going to swap it over so that the left part of the band's on the top now. And then the left arm's moving on its own. Right arm staying nice and still. Still sitting tall. Good, let's just do 2 more on this arm. and then release. Now you can uncross the band, and this time you're going to hold with straight arms. You do want to be holding quite close to the long end of the band, okay, otherwise it might just be a little bit tough. But you want to hold like fists with your thumbs on the top, as if you're holding onto 2 coffee cups. So your arms are out straight this time. Up to you how high they go, but no higher than shoulder height. I'm going to have mine just slightly below shoulder height. And then with straight arms, you're pulling back. So you really have to use your shoulder blades here and then slowly return. I'll show you from the front as well. But you need your arms to be nice and straight and then pulling back. So you're using the muscles at the back of your shoulders and around your shoulder blades to pull your arms back. And then control as you return. It's quite a small movement, but reasonably intense. If you've got a good resistance band, then you'll be getting quite a bit of work from this exercise. Again, sitting up nice and tall, arms are moving, ribs staying still. Good, 2 more. And then release. Good, you can put the band down beside you. And we're just going to come into a little bit of a stretch. So come back to your hands and knees. And then just take your left hand across to the left side of the mat, and the right hand is going to sit just above the left hand. And then reach yourself back. It's a bit like a child's pose stretch here. You're reaching your butt back towards your heels, but feeling that length through the right side of your body. So if your right hand's above the left, you'll feel it on the right side. Bring yourself forward again, across to the other side. So right hand near the right edge, left hand above, stretch back. And bring yourself forward. And then come to lie down onto your back. So here we just take a second again to focus on our breath before we finish. So you can plant your feet firmly down onto the mat. You can turn your feet in towards each other and let your knees fall out. That's up to you. But take a second to relax the shoulders and heavy those ribs into the mat. And then slow down your breath, so your in-breath is going to be wider and deeper. And lengthen that exhale. Remember, the shoulders stay soft. Any movement from your breath should be coming from those ribs. Exhale as you let go of your breath. Inhale to really fill up and widen through your ribs. Exhale, heaviness as you breathe out. Just a couple more breaths. And then when you're ready, you can start to move. Entirely up to you. You can stay lying where you are and just keep breathing for a few more breaths. Or you can take your time to sit up, moving slowly, not being in too much of a hurry. Well done, thank you very much. So that's a little sequence for you today. Enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you may be. And we hope to see you again soon.